So first question is always the easiest. What's your name?
Ryan Clements.
And what's your company name?
We're the Farm Games, or the Farm Ventures is our operating name.
And what does your company do?
So we've built mobile games. So we have 3 live games on the Android and Apple app stores.
What are those games? Can you run us through the 3 games?
Yeah, sure. So we do you want the 30-second version or the 5-minute version? Somewhere in between.
Let's do the minute version or 30-second version.
Sure. So my passion is in horse racing. All 3 games are horse racing related. The first game that we built, it's called Off and Pacing, is a ownership simulation game. So you don't actually do any driving. You own, buy, sell, breed racehorses. And then we have a multiplayer racing game where you actually do the driving. And then our third game is an ownership game as well, but it's a thoroughbred racing game. So the kind where you've seen the Kentucky Derby where the jockeys are on the horse's back, as opposed to what we have here at the Western Fair, where the drivers are sitting in a sulky.
Awesome. And then who are the games geared for? Who are you targeting with the games?
Our main audience is, I'd say, middle-aged men. So we're anywhere from the 35 to 44-year-old age group is pretty strong, and then the 45 to 54 as well. And we're sort of in the 75-80% men.
And have you then you think about, like, we talk sometimes with the Simon Sinek, why, how, what. So what you do is build the horse racing games. If you put any thought to why it is that your organizations exist or what its purpose is?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few different paths I can go down to get to a few different core whys, I think. One of them was I'd been building software for a number of years prior to starting this company, and I just didn't really care about what I was building. And I wanted to create a place where software developers could work on something they were passionate about. So that was very much a core to it, was from our team side. I wanted to create happy developers. I feel like we're so lucky to be in a space that we're in, where we can create so much value, that software developers should be able to enjoy doing that. And I'd seen so many developers who just either hated their job or just didn't really get fired up about it. So I wanted to create somewhere that these developers could explore their passions and build things that they were really excited about and really jumped out of bed to work on.
Cool. I mean, maybe a little bit. My next question is going to be, what's your background? But you kind of alluded to it. And why did you start your business, which you also alluded to, but you want to expand on either of those 2 points?
Yeah, sure. So part of the, it's all fine and dandy to want to be able to do something that you love, but not everybody can just do that. But I had kind of seen in my previous roles lineups of clients at the door, and people, we had a backlog that we couldn't get to, and the company couldn't grow fast enough. And I was kind of saying, you know what, if all these companies are lined up at our door thinking that we produce value above and beyond what we're charging them, maybe there is something here, and maybe these ideas that I have in the back of my mind are valuable if I go out and build them myself. So kind of a rare case, I think, for a startup where we did not have a product idea. And that's probably not an advisable place to start a company, where we sat down on day one and had no idea what we were going to do. We just knew how we were going to do it. That's what our thesis was. We thought we had a system, a way in mind to design products rather than having an idea. So that's sort of where it all stemmed from.
Awesome. And then a last formal question, and then I have a lightning round kind of review. But what do you think, or do you think it's important to be in a network like the Roundhouse Accelerator? And if so, why or why not?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll give 2 important reasons to start with. There's definitely more. But one, I feel that surroundings are very important for an entrepreneur and for a startup, and having that high energy level around you and other people chasing those same dreams motivates you, and it keeps up the pace when you get tired, and you might get down, but everybody around you is still hustling, and you kind of need that to keep going. To see the success of other people and the grind going on, that's a big help. And then the number two reason there, which I don't know if it's more or less important, but it's important, is having people to go to. I find that any successful entrepreneur that I know has been sort of like a sponge, always learning, always a student. And you have to have that beginner's mind where everybody around you might have something that they know that is crucial for you to know. So having that with you and Brian and Joe and the other companies in the Roundhouse has been vital for me. And a lot of times it's not even a formal sit down or anything. It's just that those collisions, those interactions that may help you right when you need it.
I'd like to build on that. Just had a question more so for my own research and information is obviously a lot of that used to happen in and around the Roundhouse physical space. How do you think we can expand to continue to do that, given the fact that we can't gather in the physical space for at least a little while longer anyway?
Yeah, that's going to be a fun challenge to figure out, because I think everybody's going to find their own way, and we're going to have to find where that where that coffee machine is in the virtual world, where those collisions can just happen. And I think it's going to take a little bit of time to figure that out. We already have our Slack channel, and now we have another gathering place, and we'll sort of see where that organically pops up. I think every company that I know of today already has so many different spots between our GitHub, our Slack, or on Discord. We have all these things, and sort of adding more to it doesn't necessarily get a lot of adoption. But I think there's going to be, people are craving that interaction that they had. I know I'm missing that right from when I get my first cup of coffee in the morning and have a chat with somebody to sitting beside people. So we're going to find a way. I just don't know exactly what it's going to look like yet at this point. It's still a little early, because I think people are still starting to miss that interaction now.
Yeah, it's adjusting to the new normal for sure, and how we cope. All right, you ready for the lightning round? So these are like single one word or one kind of brief sentence answers. Are you ready?
All right, do my best.
All right. Married, single, or married, single. What's your status
Married.
there?
Married.
Kids?
Yeah, I have a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Good answer. Mars bar or Snickers?
Snickers.
Favorite movie?
Oh, you're killing me. I Am Legend.
Oh, that's a good one. Favorite book?
Principles by Ray Dalio.
Nice. Favorite video game that's not your own? You can't pick one of your own.
Winning Post for Sega Saturn, old horse racing game.
At least you're consistent there. Favorite vacation spot?
Anywhere warm, but I'd say Singapore.
Nice. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
No.
We're doing so well there. All right, last question. You're banished to an island and can take only one thing with you. What is it?
Well, I can't choose between my wife and my kids. That's a tough one. My family, I guess.
I was gonna say you might a lot for the family. All right, good answer.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining me today, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Cool. All right, thanks. Have a good night.